Let's draw this really easy pair of sunglasses just using a few basic shapes. We're going to use Inkscape and the free color palette, which you can get from the link in the description below. If this is your first time joining me, hi, I'm Nadwa from Paper Flow Designs. I am a digital illustrator and I teach crafters, probably just like you, how to make SVG files, which are vector graphics, and use them in their crafts. So this is going to be like graphics that you use in Cricut Design, in Silhouette, in any other cutting machines. So if that sounds interesting to you, join me. I also have courses where I teach how to make and use your own SVG files, kind of like the one we're about to make, but this is like a full-on course with step-by-step videos to show you each step, to show you how to download Inkscape, how to get started using them, how to make quotes, how to make basic designs using basic shapes, how to save them, how to upload them into Cricut. So basically, I just kind of hold your hand and walk you through it. So if you're interested in that, there's also a link down below where you can find out more about the course. All right, let's get started. We'll start off with the circle tool. So we'll just draw about a small size circle, and then I'm going to duplicate that just using the shortcut for duplicate, and then click and drag it over to the right side. If you want to know all of the shortcuts for Inkscape, I do have an ebook for that, which you can find also in the link in the description. So next we'll make the corners and the middle section of the glasses to, combine them. So we'll just use the rectangle tool. So we'll draw a small little rectangle, and don't worry about the color. That's just my default color, but I will change that color later using the color dropper tool. And I'm going to choose that same color that's on the color palette. So I'm going to make 3 rectangles like this, 2 on the outsides and then 1 in the middle. Now we're ready to start shaping the glasses. So I'm just going to zoom in and I'm going to double click to get the nodes. And then I'm just going to start playing around with those nodes. The nodes are those little gray boxes that you see. I can just like push and pull them, and I'm going to delete a couple of them that I don't need, as you can see here. And then you'll see the sunglasses, coming into shape. This doesn't have to be perfect, just, kind of get it into the kind of design, the kind of shape that you like. Now we're ready to start making the inside rims of the glasses. So we've got the blue part is the outer frame, and then we'll just use the circle and ellipsis tool to draw a circle. Of course, we're going to change the color. This is just the last color that we use, so that's why we see the same color here. Initially, I changed it to this light gray color, but I didn't really want that. I thought that was going to be too light because I'm going to actually use that light gray color for the highlight. So I just chose a darker gray color from the color menu below. You can choose black if you like, or you can choose like another color, but I thought the darker gray color was, was a good option. Okay, so we have the color that we want, and now we're just going to click and drag that circle over on top of the base of the sunglasses. From here, we're going to double click to get the nodes again. Remember, those nodes are those little gray squares. And once we have the nodes, we're going to delete some of the ones that we don't need, because we don't want to keep this like a perfectly round circle. We want it to look like the lens of the glasses. So I'll delete that one on the top, and then I will just push and pull the other two to get them into, the kind of shape that I want. Once we've done that, I can just duplicate it for the other side. We're ready to start making the little reflection bars on the lenses. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool, pull it down, make like a little medium-sized rectangle here, and I'm going to duplicate it just because I think it's easier. So with that duplicate one, I'm going to rotate it clockwise, and I'm going to make that first reflection bar. Since I only want the inside of that bar, I'm going to use the intersection tool to do that. So I'm going to duplicate the lens, and then I'm going to select the rectangle and the lens, and then I'm going to use intersection so I can only have the inside piece. Now we can go back to that first rectangle. We're going to duplicate it again. We're going to shrink it to make it a little bit thinner. And we're going to repeat that same process using intersection to get the intersection of the second strip. Our first side is looking good, so let's repeat that process for the other side. Remember, we're going to duplicate that rectangle, we're going to rotate it, we're going to duplicate the lens, and then we're going to use intersection to get the inside strip. We'll do the same thing for that little smaller tiny piece. Since this is the last reflection bar, we don't need to duplicate that rectangle anymore. We're just going to use that last rectangle, shrink it to make it a little bit thinner, and then rotate it and use it as is. Remember how I said we're not going to leave them this default color? So we're going to select all of the blue rectangles or the reflection strips, and then I'm going to go over to the color palette using the color dropper and then just select that light gray color. I want to show you all the different layers that you have. So you see that each color, each piece is on its own layer, as you can see. I usually work in one layer in Inkscape, but once you load these up to Cricut, you'll see that they will come up as different layers. This is the second lesson in my Hello Summer Drawing Challenge. If you missed one from last week, you can just click in the blog post down below to see what they are. And you can also sign up for my email subscriber list, which is my VIP list, and get notified each time I do a drawing challenge like this. If you like this, please share it with a friend, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!